Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when
All right, as always, Dolphins number one, baby!
So fins up to all you guys. Thank you for being
I just want everybody to remember, we may not always agree on everything Miami Dolphins, but there's one thing we do agree on, is we are all Dolphin fans. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Fins Talk. I'm your host, Steve Malloy. Joining me, as always, the one and only Rob Mosley, a.k.a. Dolphin Thirsty. How's it going, Rob?
Hey, South Florida was nice today. It was a little bit cooler than normal here in South Florida. Not cold, but cooler. Wasn't a 90-degree South Florida day. It was nice being out and about. Did a little running around, doing what you have to do. But it was nice when I was running around. I wasn't sweating just getting to the car, so it was nice.
I hear you.
So, everything's good, man. Keeping Dolphins thirsty. I will have a show 10 a.m. tomorrow morning on Dolphin Thirsty here on YouTube. And I will have more, of course, update dolphinthirsty.com as news warrants, anything comes out, the coach speaks, we get updates on players, who's in and who out. But I don't know, Evan, are you in the house, Evan, before we build any requests?
I wanted to
just wait. We don't even know if he's here. So
yeah, I'm sure Evan's in the house, man. I'm sure
Evan, I don't know. Evan, are you still here? Ender, by the way, welcome to the show as always. And yes, Dolphins number one, baby. Dolphins number one. He knows you're. And Eric, we're going to lose. Hey, you can't lose what you don't want. I haven't even heard Eric. Is he going to the Bills for that, guys? I didn't read anything. I don't know.
So, but Rob, I wanted to go ahead and get some housekeeping out of the way before we get started tonight.
Right.
Of course, everyone that welcome you into the chat. I appreciate you joining us tonight. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and of course, share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. And remember, we may not always agree everything Dolphins, but there's one thing we can agree on. We are all Dolphins.
That is very true, Steve. That is well said every time. It's your disclaimer, but it's a very good disclaimer because sometimes we can get talking, having different opinions on different things, but we have that one opinion that we all want the Dolphins to have more points at the end of the game than whoever they're playing. So.
Absolutely. And talking about that, points at the end of the game, we did win this week. We beat the Carolina Panthers 42-21. 42-21. So that was a good win for us. We are 5-1 now. 5-1. That's the first time we've been 5-1. And how long, Rob? It's been
since 2002.
2002. So
that's not the best barometer because we did not win a playoff game in 2002.
Right.
But hey, at least it's the first time that we started off well. I like it. It's the fins up. I like, guys. The title of the show tonight is 5-1. The Dolphins are 5-1, having fun. There's a lot of good things, a lot of work to be done, but we were getting into some of the numbers that the Dolphins are putting up. It's crazy on a historic level, on individual and team wise. It's just like you say, it's been an enjoyment. Evan, if you're in here, give us a fins up, Evan, if you're in the room.
Absolutely. So Rob, I wanted to ask you, I know it was Dolphins fan weekend.
Yes.
And in fact, you were down there and you got to meet some of our Fins Talk Sports Network brothers. I know you met. Well, go ahead. You tell us how was your weekend? What'd you do, and all that good stuff.
Well, it was just a great time. I got to meet the gang here, most of the guys on Real Talk Fins Talk, who's one of them just in the room. I spent an extra close to great few days run, having dinner last night with today's birthday boy, but it was last night. He treated me, even though it's his birthday week, and I said I was going to treat, but he said no, and he got the bill. But hey, it was great. Evan, thank you. And you're going to get a request here in 1 minute. Evan. But yeah, so on Saturday we went to Kim Bow Campers where I met Evan for the first time, Bobby of this network, Bobby Finch Talk, and met him, Hank, Fish Tank Hank, and his lovely wife. I got to meet, and then a whole bunch of other names that everyone knows on social media that was out there. Papa Paul, 305 Sports Babe, Dog
Beard,
Freaky,
bearded fanatic.
Stephen D let us be on
Yep.
his radio show. So it was awesome. It was awesome. We got there. You saw us live stream during the day because we were able to get
Yes,
out
I
there,
did.
and it was great. So it was
Yep.
wonderful.
Hey, and also you mentioned Evan Posner. It is Evan Posner's birthday. So per request of Evan Posner, we're going to sing happy birthday.
Only in English, unless my
Only in
wife
English.
comes in.
Only in English. You ready?
Yeah, ready.
Happy birthday to you.
You.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Finstanza. Happy birthday to you.
Sorry for my singing, guys. I hope I didn't drive people away and make them unsubscribe.
Happy birthday, Evan.
Enjoy. There you go, Evan. That was for
enjoy
you.
your night. Enjoy your night.
And not only that, Dolphins #1, baby. We gotta throw you that in there, Evan. So anyway, we had a good time yesterday with Evan. It was great, man. That was a perfect close to the nice run. And then now that's it. Now week 6 is gone. Week 7 is going to be upon us. It's going to be the big game. But hey, we all had fun this weekend. It was great. Even though we didn't sit next to each other, they could see me where I was sitting. We waved. We could see Manny. Oh, I also met, sorry, that's another Manny. If you come in here, Bearded Fanatic, he comes in here as, but he's a part of the Batter Finns fans. We met him. I mean, there's so many people that we met that, I'm going to forget some, so I almost hate naming some, but there's so many cool people in Dolphin fandom. Because, and like you say, Steve, like you start the show every week basically saying we may not always agree on what we think about the Dolphins, but we do agree that we're Dolphin fans and we want them to win. And that's always proven in events like this. It was awesome. So it was great.
Yeah, I'm just so happy for all you guys on the Finns Talk Sports Network and all the rest that you got to meet each other in person, and it sounds like you had a great time. And
next year, plan ahead and the fan club weekend, Steve, you got to be here. So
absolutely.
We'll try to plan it. I would get the minute I know what the fan. I'm down here anyway, so it's easy for me. But I would make sure I get tickets to the fan club, the game, and all of that. It's really fun, man. Guys, get down here, and it's a great time.
And Evan made a great comment. He said, "In an amazing community." Yes, it is a very amazing community. For sure.
Anytime you root for a team that hasn't won a playoff game for 20 years and you're still a fan, it's a pretty, you got a pretty loyal community, so it's fun. But I know you got some numbers and stuff you want to get into.
Well,
so guys, let's talk.
Hey. Well, actually, TJ Bray Miller, nice to have you on in the chat, joining us on tonight. So I just wanted to ask you, Rob, you were at the game. And what did you think? I mean, what was going on in your head when the Carolina Panthers came out and just punching our defense in the mouth?
Oh, I sent out a group text to the guys that were at the game that Percy's getting nervous, and I joked that Finn Stanza might be getting upset, But anyway, I was
can imagine.
Nervous. At 7-0, I was fine. But then when it got to be 14-0, then it was they started off, we made them 3-and-out. We got the ball. Right. We went 3-and-out. They got the ball when they got a touchdown, but then we let them do another 3-and-out, and then they go and get the ball again and then I started saying, oh my goodness, our offense isn't clicking. Our defense is struggling to stop them. This may be one of those wake up moments,
Yeah.
But them on the sidelines, they did not have that. They were calm, cool, and collective, as they used to be. Bob Greasy's nickname, calm, cool, and collective. And the Dolphins just acted like that. They woke up, they ran off 35 straight points, until we gave them the gift pick 6. So Hey, yeah, but did I get a little nervous? Of course I did, because I'm an old Dolphin fan that's seen everything before and seen
Right.
the kingdom crumble before my eyes before. But hey, it was great. And I don't care about it's who you play. I know some people, David Funones, whatever, tweeted out like, "Oh, they've only played bad teams." You can only play what's on your schedule, and the Chargers aren't that bad. Yes, they lost last night, but that game could have gone either way against the Cowboys. So it's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. You play on who's on your schedule, but other than that real close Chargers games, all the other teams that we basically had control the whole game. The New England score doesn't look like a beatdown. We basically had that game under wraps the whole game, let them get back in it a little bit. But everyone else, all the home games have just been a butt kicking. It's been a butt kicking at home. My son and I have gone to 2 games this year, and they scored a combined 112 points at the 2 games we went
Wow,
to.
that's
We went
amazing.
to the
It's
game, they
amazing.
scored 70, and we went to the game, they scored 42. So that's a lot of points that my son and I, we're just like the touchdown makers ourselves, we feel like, so it's fun.
And all the Dolphin fans, they should be happy. We should be happy. We're 5-1. We've won all the games that, like you said, Rob, that were on the schedule so far. And let's talk a little bit about the game. And I still do have. I know our offense is working on all cylinders right now. McDaniel has got this offense schemed up to the T. Hey, our quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. I've said he needed to play at a consistent level this year at about a 7 from a scale from 1 to 10. I said he needed to play about a 7. Right now, he's playing out about an 8 or 9. So
Right.
he's gone above and beyond what I thought he could do, and he has made some improvements. He has really come along. He's getting rid of the ball quickly. Well, he's always done that, but he's not holding on to the ball.
No, that's what you mean. Yeah. When
Yeah, yeah,
I know he would just get rid of it. He actually threw the ball away a couple times, and we actually cheered at it because it's the old Tua would have taken a hit or tried to
yes,
throw a bad ball up in the middle of a
right.
crowd, or he just held it, saw it wasn't there, chuck it out of bounds to live another day. And I love
Exactly. And not only that, now I know the offense is playing at a very good level as far as pass blocking and run blocking. They're just playing on all cylinders as well, the whole offense. Um, but he hasn't taken a lot of hits with the exception of the Buffalo game. He's they've been, for the most part, they've only got like 5, I think 5 or 6 sacks, if that. And so he's been upright. They've been keeping him upright, and he's been able to get rid of the ball really quick. And like I said, I don't know if it's Butch Berry or it's Mike McDaniel. It could be both that have this offensive line playing on all cylinders as well. But whatever they're doing, it's working right now. And Mostert, A-Chain, we know how he was playing before
right.
the
Got injured
unfortunately he got hurt. But Mostert, that man is a beast running that ball. He's running with a lot of power and authority. And of course, we know how fast he is. And I didn't know he was a hurdler.
Yeah, I know. Hey, yeah, I know. He definitely.
Was,
I mean, there. Hey, real quick, TJ says he was nervous at the beginning of the game as well. But yeah, no, I mean, we're putting up because everyone talks about our passing game, but right now I read a good article today where the Dolphins are putting up historic numbers in the rushing average per. Right now,
yes,
no one in the Super Bowl era has averaged more than 5.5 as a
right,
team. And
right.
right now we're up to 6. I think we're 6.5. I would go look at the exact number. But I mean, we're like a yard ahead of a historical average that anyone's ever done. And that's the high is 5.5.
Yeah, and that's good. And I don't want to poo-poo on anybody's parade, but to me, I don't care about the historical rushing yards or the historical passing yards. Although I love statistics and I love to see individual, performances and how they're doing and yards per carry and catches and completion percent. I love that stuff. But the bottom line is, I really don't care about that crap. I want to see the Miami Dolphins win the Super Bowl.
Yes,
I
I
want to
know.
see him go to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl, because you asked the New England Patriots if when they're going 18-0 and they lost that Super Bowl, did anybody talk about that afterwards? No. Do you
No.
think, okay, same thing with the greatest show on turf, right? They
Yeah,
only
of
won the
course. I
one
know,
Super Bowl.
Steve,
But
you're talking about the running game on this point.
no,
Now
no, no,
you're
no. I'm
hammering.
just saying. I'm just saying. I don't care about the historical stuff, and it's I know what you're saying. I love that stuff. I love the stats and all that kind of stuff. As a homer, I love that stuff. As a
Yeah.
Dolphin fan, I'm into it. Believe me, since a kid, I used to get
Oh
into
no,
all the
I know, but
stats and
believe me,
all
I
that stuff.
understand what you're
But right
saying. I
now,
lived
I
through the
want it.
whole.
I don't care. All I want to see is a win at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I don't care how they do it.
Oh, of course. I
I
think,
want
but
to see a
Steve, you're
win.
getting mad for no reason.
No, I'm not mad. I'm not
You're
mad.
sounding fired up. You're getting fired
I'm not
up.
mad.
That's all I'm
I'm
saying
not
is
mad.
that there, it's all good though. It's all good, Steve.
No, no,
But
no.
sometimes you don't let me get my word in when you get all fired
Oh,
up. So I
go
had to
ahead,
throw
Rob.
the
Go ahead.
train. I had.
Go ahead. Get your
I'm
word
just
in.
saying
Get your word in.
because we all talk about the whole thing I started with because everyone throws in passing, and they're saying, but if you look at it
Right.
historically, rushing, we're actually doing the ball rushing well too. It's just we got a 6.5 average, which is a full yard above anyone in the Super Bowl era. So I don't think, that's as a team. So it's not an individual, it's a team, and teams win games. So
Yes.
stats
Yes.
like that actually help you win a game. It's just
Yes.
such because Tua could get, MVP, what Evan says for Cheetah, he could get 2,000 yards in a season. We could still stink and barely make the playoffs,
That's
because
my point.
believe me,
That's my point.
I've seen Dan Marino break records. I've seen Mark Clayton break records. Mark
Yes.
Cooper put up amazing numbers, all to
Yes.
end, and we didn't win the Super Bowl. So I know I'm 100% with you. I can care less if we were the last in every stat, but somehow won every darn game and we won a Super Bowl. And people say, "Oh, that's the worst Super Bowl team in decades." Who cares? Who cares if we're the worst Super Bowl team in decades? We're Super Bowl champs.
That's
And
it.
that's all
That's
that
it.
matters.
That's all that
But I
matters.
just want to point that out because everyone's saying, "Oh, we're a pass." But right now we're running at great levels. So
No, Rob, you're making a good point. We are not just pass. Now, last year we could have debated that, right? But
right.
this year, Mike McDaniel has kept his word, and I remember Mostert said during the offseason, he says McDaniel's going to shock the world, and he is shocking the world right now.
Yeah.
Game six, 5-1. In this game six, we played 6 games. He has been shocking the world, and he's kept his word, and he's gone beyond a balanced attack. I mean, we were 50-50 this past game, 50% passes and 50% running.
Yeah.
So, we're working, like I said, we're working in all cylinders, and I'm so happy and elated to see that. But I don't want to get, because I have been this is gonna sound kind of crazy, but a battered Fins fan for so long, and you and I both have seen what can happen in a blink of an eye. Let's take an example. This last year, right? And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just being realistic tonight. This last year, we were 8-3, and we lost 4 games straight.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm not.
And
believe me, I'm not buying my playoff winning T-shirts yet. I'm not buying AFC East,
Right.
champ T-shirts yet. There's a lot of football to be played, but at this time, every team has a loss, at least one. So we're up there with the best of the teams, And yes, I could say in the same sentence, the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions are 2 of the best teams in football right now. And who would have thought the Detroit Lions and the Dolphins would be, a couple of years ago, if you would have said, "Hey, the Dolphins and Detroit Lions are going to be among the 2 best football teams."
Absolutely,
But hey,
absolutely.
it's great, and Detroit doesn't get any love. I know Dolphin fans are saying, "Oh, we never get any love," but a lot of people don't give the Detroit Lions team a lot of love. So it's great to see teams that aren't just the same old teams winning year after year. And that's Ray Finkel says, "Fins up, guys." Ender, as always, one of the regulars of both networks, says, "Enjoy the ride, Dolphins."
Absolutely. I like what Ray Finkel said there. He said, "I remember a time being down 14 points, we would feel insurmountable, but the last few years have not felt like we are out of any game at any time." No, I agree. Ray, is it Ray?
Yeah, Ray Finkel.
I don't have my glasses on.
Kudos to the old movie there.
Yeah, but I definitely agree with Ray. We have definitely have gone over that hump of being down and not winning, coming back and winning those games. So I agree with you on that 100%. But and we're going to get into this in just a second. We're going to play the big dogs. We're going to be playing Eagles. We're going to be playing Kansas City. Let's take a game at a time, but we're going to be playing the Eagles, then the Patriots. Now let's not sleep on the Patriots. And then we got to play the Kansas City Chiefs. So those are 2 games that we've got to win. No. Not just be competitive. We need to win those games, man.
Yeah.
That's the only way that the Miami Dolphins, that this team is going to show me the money, is when we and I said this last year, you beat those 4 teams that we lost to. I said, show me the money, and then I'll believe in you, Miami Dolphins. Until they beat the New England, the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, I am not convinced.
Games, I told that was going to be one of my talking points.
Yeah.
2 of the next 3 weeks that we have to show up and play. I mean, we got to beat New England, of course. I'm not dismissing New England because
absolutely.
But if you go lose to Philadelphia, beat New England, and then lose to Kansas City, then everyone's going to come out and say, okay, we can't beat the good team because we lost to Buffalo, then we would have lost to Philadelphia and lost to Kansas City. So there's no way. I agree with you. Now, can you win one and lose one of those games and have a New England victory sandwich in between and still be in strong contention? Yes. But, of course I want to win 2. But, I mean, the simple fact of it is the Dolphins are not going to go 16-1. So we're going to have a couple other bumps along the way. But, yes, as of right now and in this early part of the season, I feel like it's important because all the naysayers and whatever, and not just the naysayer. I don't care about the naysayer or the positive naysayers because at this point, it's just like us. We're just talking. Even the guys that get paid big money to talk on TV, they don't know any. It's just all their views. It doesn't. Hey, Moya, and hey, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. But anyway, so my whole point is, I agree with you. We need to at least get one of those. And I don't care if the naysayer, they lost them all. We could still bounce back and win. But at this point in the season, you are 100% right. We need those wins. And, that's how we definitely got to beat Kansas City or Philadelphia. Beat them both. It's going to be awesome.
That would make me change my mind on my feelings of the Miami Dolphins right now. I'm happy that we're 5-1. Trust me, folks. I'm a diehard Dolphin fan. I'm happy for them being 5-1. Okay, I didn't think we would be at 5-1 at this point in the season. So they've gone beyond my expectations. Tua's has gone beyond my expectations, but I'm still not convinced. Like I said, Rob, and I know you agree with me, until we beat the big dogs. And we got a big dog coming up this Sunday at 7:20 p.m. Eastern or 8:20 Eastern.
8:20 Eastern. You're going on your Houston time.
I'm going on my time. But anyway, so let me ask you this, Rob, since you were at the game, and I wondered, since you were at the game, I want to ask you these questions. You were there live and in color. Based on your observations of this Miami Dolphins defense, not on all the other games that I'm not talking about all the other games. I'm specifically talking about the Carolina Panthers game. What did you see in this defense? Do you think that this defense is a playoff contender defense? What you saw, or do you think that we've got a lot of work that we need to?
We got a lot of work we need. But they did step it up after the first 2. I mean, when it was 14-0, we kept them off the scoreboard the rest of the way outside of the pick 6. So did they do in that game what they had to do? Yes, because if you hold most teams to 14 points with this Dolphins offense, you're going to win the game all the time. So yes, I would say they did a job in that. But yes, of course, we all see it out there. Some of their numbers are surprising. We're actually not that far behind in quarterback sacks with
exactly.
I was surprised today when I read man, we get more quarterback sacks than most teams. So
and pressures.
Yeah, and pressure. So so there are some things. What scares me is that teams that are bullies and that can run the ball, and the Eagles are one of these teams that have almost they're like number 2 rushing to us this year. And they're going to be able to. I'm just afraid they might be able to bully ball us and control the clock against us, and just be able to run against us. That's our weakness this year, which is weird because last year run defense was one of our better strengths. But for
Well,
whatever, I don't know if it's Fangio system just getting
it's Fangio
accustomed
system.
to.
It's Fangio system.
Yeah.
I told you all. I told everyone on this network. I said Fangio system. You don't be surprised if you don't see teams running on us, and doing a lot of dinking and dunking.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what his system is. But I wanted to go over, since we mentioned running the ball, the Eagles running the ball. Let's go over some of the stats I have here.
Okay, let me do some house cleaning real quick, as you call it. Yes, I'm happy for
Yeah.
Tua, and what a guy, what a player. I agree. Evan met him oh my God, Steve met him in person recently, and he said the same thing. A very nice, humble man, very
Absolutely.
kind, and that's it. And as far as you, Mr. 2 Clock Pat, I cannot tell you. Steve can't tell you. We are not big guys in the fantasy football play. You're gonna have to maybe we have a show here that's dedicated to fantasy football, but Steve and I aren't your fantasy football guys. I don't even play fantasy football, and neither does Steve. So I don't know, but there are shows on this network, so subscribe, and they got some good shows dedicated to fantasy football. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to get I was getting behind in my comments there. All right, you're good.
No, that's fine. Thank you, Rob. And yes, I appreciate as well everyone that's in the chat. I see there's a lot of new folks in there. I appreciate you joining us tonight. If you are new to the channel, please, if you like this content, please subscribe and also hit that like button. It's free, so that would help out the show and get us, that algorithm that YouTube algorithm. When you hit that like button, it'll send out, the show to other areas. I guess I'm not real sure how that works, but all I know is please hit that like button.
Yeah, that's it. Just keep it simple. Hit that like button.
I'm old school, man. I'm still learning all this tech stuff.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, and here are some team stats, not individual but team stats. So we got the Dolphins and Eagles coming up. Of course, we're both 5-1. The Dolphins in offense, hell, you might as well say they're number one in every category.
Yeah.
They're one in total offense. They're number one in passing offense. They're number one in rushing offense. Can't get any more balanced than that.
No.
And they're number one in scoring offense. Now, oh my gosh, they're second in sacks allowed. Now in third down, if offense, they are number 7. Now, here's the Philadelphia Eagles. They're number 2 in total offense, so right behind Miami. Number 9 in passing offense. Number 2 in rushing offense.
Oh, okay.
So they're right behind Miami, right on their tail.
Yeah.
Against our defense. And their scoring offense, they're number 5.
Okay, I knew they were up there in the top.
Yeah, they're up there, but they're in the top.
But that rushing offense scares me because that's a nightmare matchup for us because we're not very good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying against our defense. And we'll get to that in a second here.
Yeah.
Now, sacks allowed, they're 12th in sacks allowed. They've allowed 14, whereas Miami's only allowed 6.
And they may or may not have Lane Johnson. We don't know yet.
Right. He's talking like he's going to play, but then that every player is wants to play. I mean I know Connor Williams wanted to play this last game, and McDaniel said, "No, we're going to protect you from yourself."
Yeah.
Now let's go to our and then third down on offense. They're actually number 1. So they're number 1 in third down offense. That's 50%. 50%, where Miami is 44%. So I mean, they're not too far behind. Now, total defense. Miami's total defense, we're talking about yards per game. They're 20. Miami is 20. Total defense for the Eagles, they're number 9. They're allowing 298 yards against our offense. Our offense should do better than that, I'm sure, even against this defense. Passing defense, Miami is 19th. They're ranked 19th. And the Eagles are right behind Miami at 20. Rushing defense, Miami is 20th ranked, and the Eagles are ranked number 2. So that's now look at those matchups, Rob.
So don't
And
get mad
rushing,
this week, Steve, if we
no, no, no,
decide
no,
to go
no,
to the air a little bit
no, no,
more.
no. Rushing defense, they're number 2. We're number 20.
Right.
Rushing offense, they're number 2 against our 20 defense, and we're number 1 against their number 2 defense. So, if you really put all this together and you think about it, this is
Tua's going to
pretty
be throwing the ball a lot, probably.
throwing the ball, but this is a relatively even match game.
I know it is.
Based on the
and the
stats.
point spread.
Based
You and I
on the
both are
stats.
not gamblers, but I always end up seeing the point spread, and it's very close. Basically, doesn't even take the home field. So they basically seeing it almost like a pick'em game. I saw it was like
Yeah.
2.5. Then at one point, Hawkman on the radio was saying it was like down to 1.5. But then people were putting money back on the Eagles. So I don't.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's a very close game.
Yeah, it's evenly matched. Sacks, they're number 5 in sacks, and Miami actually is number 3.
I know. That's what I was saying. I was surprised to see that today when I was doing.
Yeah,
because we all complain, we never get to the quarterback. But I know the last weeks have helped us pump up the numbers a little bit. But hey, as you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, so. And then third down defense, they're 23rd. Eagles, and Miami is 20, so they're right behind Miami. Takeaways. Here's where we're bad at.
Well, we're bad. How about
22? We're 22. Where Eagles are 12, so they're in the top 15. Takeaway.
Turnover for way too long.
Yeah, and then giveaways. We're both ranked 20th. We're both tied for 20th in giveaways.
Okay, so they turned the ball over a lot this last week. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Dolphins have not created a turnover since the Denver Broncos game. So we got to up our defense getting the. We didn't create any turnovers against Buffalo.
Hello, Raphael. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gave him the thumbs up, but you were talking all your numbers, so
I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us, Raphael. So Rob, I'm going to ask you, what are your keys to this Philadelphia game?
Well, I was just saying, get some turnovers like the Jets did to them yesterday. Get that ball away from them, and do not let Jalen Hurts beat you with his feet. Contain them as best as you can. Because if you make him just only a drop back passer and all that, I think his numbers are pretty good. They were comparing him and Tua. Tua outdoes him in all other than rushing, of course. Right. But, I believe you can get him a little more, I think you'll be okay. Their numbers are very similar over their careers, though. They both had 40 starts, and you see their numbers are very similar. Right. But I believe that if we pressure him, he won't be as good. You can't give him all day, which the Dolphins surprisingly have some of the most pressures in the NFL and third most sacks, which was a surprise to me when I saw those numbers pop up today. So, I say get to him, create turnovers, and avoid the turnover, which we did for the most part this last week until a gift pick 6 by our backup quarterback and mop-up duty. We avoided. Because before that, Moser, as great as he's been, he put the ball on the field a couple times. A-Chan, before he got hurt, fumbled once. Tua threw some bad interceptions against the Giants. You cannot do that against the Eagles. You cannot, expect to lose a turnover battle by 3 and still win the game by 20 points. It's not going to happen against the Eagles.
No, I agree 100%. So, Rob, do you have a prediction tonight, or do you want to wait till
I'm going to probably save it. Not just for mine, not because for Dolphins Thursday, because I think it's I would like to see a little more who's going to play, who's coming back, what players are healthy, what players are not. Right. But if I have to say, right now, I would probably say I would give the Eagles a slight edge just because it's a prime time in their turf. But I'm so proud of my Dolphins, and I have faith in my Dolphins. By the end of the week, I may be back on the Homer bandwagon. But I got a lot of memories, that it's hard to get. I've seen good.
I'm with you. I'm with
In
you.
1992, the Miami Dolphins started 9-2 and never won another game. Yes, Marino was hurt that year, but still never won another game after 9-2, and you missed the playoffs. It's sad, man.
Yeah.
Awful.
Well, and we don't even have to go back that far.
Yeah,
We
no.
could just
Last
go to
year we were
last
eight
year.
and three. I know.
Yeah.
Last year we were 8-3.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a little worried about this week.
No,
and
I'm with you.
Philadelphia's coming off a loss, and they're going to be even more fired up. I would much rather, for one, the
That
Jets
is a
would have
good
lost.
point, Rob.
Yeah, and it would have been great that the Jets would have lost because they're a division. Everyone's like sleeping on the Jets. They're 3-3. If we get another loss, they're right on our tail.
Exactly.
They're right on our tail.
Yes,
So
sir. Yeah.
don't sleep on the Jets. Now, if we could combine the Jets defense with our offense, we'd be killer.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
But
but hey, I don't know is what my long-winded answer, but
yeah.
I'm worried. That's why Dolphin thirsty, Rob, me, I'm worried about this week.
Yeah, I got you, man. I feel you. And my keys are we need to come out and we need to frickin' just, whether it's run the ball or throw the ball down their throat, and we need to get ahead of the game real early. I mean, we need to get like 2 touchdowns ahead, minimum 1 touchdown ahead. At least give our defense a chance to pin their ears back a little bit and maybe get after, like you said, Jalen Hurts, because I think that's another key to the game is not only just get ahead in points, but they need to put a lot of pressure. I'm not too concerned about the sacks. I just need them to get in his face, make him feel uncomfortable back there, because you've seen what the Jets did, and make him force him into mistakes.
Yeah, that's why we get along, Mr. Steve. I'm all didn't have this pre-planned. You asked me without knowing my pre-plan, and it's very in line with yours. Yes, that's about where I am. It's like a 50-50 game from. I'm not scared, but I'm not overconfident at all.
Yeah. And after I tell you this, I have something that you guys might be surprised about. Yeah. But I think this game is going to be won in the trenches. That's what I think. This game is going to be won in the trenches. It's got to be. Yeah. And because number one, these teams are all kind of evenly matched. They really are.
I don't know, when you just read the numbers, you proved it.
Yeah, I mean, statistically they are. And I'll be quite frank with you guys. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe the Dolphins can pull this one off.
I
really am. I really am.
That because I'm 50-50. I like that, Steve. Yeah, normally you're the real talk, and I'm the homer. Today you're still being real talk. I know, but
I like that score right there. I like that score right there. That 2, 3,
close.
4,
I'm
3,
thinking
2.
of a 31. So when he said 31, I told my son today I think it's going to be 31-28, but I just don't know what team's going to have the 31. I think it's going to come down to a field goal at the end. Evan, if Evans is still in here, that's going to make him nervous.
And I'm gonna, Rob. I know. We've got a show. We've got a show coming up on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The pregame Dolphin Thirsty pregame show.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you what my score is tonight, but the way that I'm feeling is, even though I've talked a lot of, as I call it, realistic stuff tonight about this team and all that, I just have a feeling, my gut feeling, and this isn't a homer feeling, this is just a gut feeling, that the Miami Dolphins just might pull this game off.
I hope you're right, Steve. Like I said, I'm still iffy. I'm not like saying the Eagles are going to win. I'm not saying I'm a little nervous, but that's more from my being burned by so many memories in the past than the current. It's hard for me to separate current from my past memories of being burnt. So we'll see, but this is a completely different team.
Joseph said
sees more of a defensive struggle, 24-20.
Yeah, it's going to be one in the trenches, I think. And Joseph made a comment. They signed Julio Jones, but Julio Jones hasn't played all year, right?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be ready for us.
He's not going to be ready.
Claypool had played, and he stood in and played for us last week. So,
and it's
going to be interesting to see this week who all gets activated for the Dolphins. I'm assuming Jeff Wilson is going to definitely be activated.
Yeah,
because they were saying he could have been activated last week, but they felt Robert Jones was more needed. So I don't know if I don't know if they put Brooks on the IR, buy him a few weeks and let
Right.
Jeff Wilson come back because we're gonna have to make a roster spot for Wilson. His 21 days open, and we will see on that. And Nick Needham's 21 day will be closing soon too. Be time flies, so we'll see if they bring him back or not. So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I don't know. You haven't heard anything more about Brooks, right? What's your feeling on Brooks?
It's a sprain that still has swollen, and it's more week to week. They described it as it's not a out for a month type thing, but it's not day to day because he described Xavier Howard's injury as day to day,
right?
But he describes Brooks as week to week. So I don't think he'll play this week. But if they think he's going to be out 3 or 4 weeks, they may place that IR. But then we start running out of, you're going to run out of room of people you can bring back. You're only allowed to bring back 8 people.
8, that's right.
So they say that he should be ready to play this week, which is scary because the Eagles has a stacked receiving room already. Is he going to really be football ready? Who knows? But yeah, that's a scary move. I hope we get Claypool. I think a Claypool.
I don't know. I'm not too scared about about Julio Jones. He's been out of football for a while. He's I know he's not in football shape. And to be honest with you, he's been on a decline his last year or two. So
hey, Daniel, yes, it's time to beat a team. The Chargers could have easily had a winning record if they would have not choked that game last night. But hey, they did, and it is what it is. But I still don't think the Chargers are a bad football team. But you're right. We haven't beat a team with a winning record. It's time to get a team with a winning record, Daniel. And Daniel, as always, thank you. You're awesome. You come to both Dolphins Thirsty and in here all the time.
Appreciate you, Daniel. Appreciate you, brother.
And same with Raphael, all these guys that come to mind too, man. You guys are all great. Yep. But yeah.
Absolutely, Rob.
He goes, Raphael is like us signing Claypool. But I think Claypool will get I don't know. I think Claypool will get activated this weekend.
You know what it is, Rob? I think the whole what it boils down to is the complexity of this playbook.
Oh, I know it's very complex. I know we keep on hearing that over and over.
And that's what I think he might be having. Anybody that comes over.
Yeah, but we took the full cap hit with him, so it's gonna be silly to eat all that cap money and not get the man activated sooner than later. Because
no, I agree, and they might have some plays for him. Maybe he plays special. I don't know if he's even a special teams player.
He can even do like take a handoff and run and stuff like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Big body, and he's a bigger target than trying to throw a fade in the end zone to Tyreek Hill. Tua doesn't have to be as a Zach. He has a little more room for arrow throwing to a 6'4" receiver or 6'2". I may have just made him taller, but he's taller than all of our receivers. So, he's a big body receiver. He can throw it up there. Tua has a little, because the guy has a bigger catch radius. You don't have to, because when he threw that touchdown to Tyreek against the Chargers, it's that was like had to be perfectly placed because Hill's not going to out jump a bigger cornerback. He can jump for a smaller receiver, but he's not going to out jump you a big. And he fit that ball in there like you and I couldn't have handed it any better on that pass.
Well, prime example is when Tyreek went up against and the guy played Tyreek really good, and I think he's hurt is Gonzalez with the New England Patriots.
Yeah,
he's a big cornerback. He was like 6'1", 6'2". Tyreek's 5'9", 5'10". Yeah. So and he just was he's just bigger. He's just more physical and taller than Tyreek Hill. So Claypool makes a lot of sense. But anyway, it's about that time, Rob. Again, I appreciate everybody that's coming to the chat. I appreciate all your comments, joining us tonight. Please hit that like button if you haven't. Share this with your friends, your families, your neighbors. And if you're new to the channel, I've seen a lot of new folks in here tonight. Please subscribe. We'd love for you to be
that subscribe button, as I like to call it.
Yes, sir. Please. We would really enjoy you being part of the community here. We're growing, as well as Dolphins Thirsty channel is growing as well.
Trying to get me to 500 guys. They're at the big 1,000. We're trying to get them we're trying to get them to 2,000 or 1,500, whatever coming, obviously. And trying to get me to 500. I don't look at you as a subscriber over on Dolphins Thirsty. I look at you as a teammate, as they do here on this network.
Absolutely.
But Daniel did point it out that we haven't beaten no team. But here's a deep thought for you, Daniel. If the Chargers had beaten us, they would have a winning record right now. So technically, or so hey, it's all good though. I mean, that's all how you look at it. But
yeah,
I agree. We gotta at least beat out of the next 3, we have to be 2-1 at a minimum. I would love to be 3-0, but this is a week by week league. You and I all year have been taking it week by week. And then when it was the Panthers, we did not look ahead to the Eagles because we're trying to do what the team does. So this week, it's all on the Eagles. Go out there, prime time Dolphins. This is your chance to shine in prime time. You kind of didn't look so shiny last year on the prime time there at the end of the season. You gave the Bills a little bit of a battle, but you stunk it up against the Chargers in prime time last year. So the prime time audience that the Miami Dolphins belong in prime time. Get that victory on the road on Sunday night. The weather's not going to be too awful, a lot cooler than South Florida, but it's not going to be any, from what I'm reading right now. Weather changes, of course, on the dime as fast as Tyreek Hill runs. But, the weather's not looking too bad right now.
Absolutely.
Anybody, let's see. Let me get before I don't want to miss this anyone before we close out. Daniel would be a late pick, so picking up for a late first round pick could really help out. We are win now mode. Daniel.
Yeah, we are win now mode for sure. I agree with that for sure.
Rain in Philadelphia. Is it? I didn't see that in the forecast. See, I checked this morning and I just saw it was going to be like in the 60s or the 40s, but I didn't see rain. So
that could change. That could change.
Yeah, no, that can change. They don't sometimes know. They would tell me it's nice outside and it's pouring. But of course, that's South Florida. That is South Florida for you.
That could change though. But anyway, guys, again, appreciate y'all. Rob, thank you again for joining me tonight and us. The Dolphin community here. And don't forget, guys, please come join us on Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have the Dolphin Thirsty pregame show. Rob and I will be doing that in the morning. And following us, the Fins Talk Sports Network, I believe Bobby and Evan Posner, Finn Stanza, and we'll have their pregame show as well. So again, thanks again, and remember, Dolphins.
Wait.
Oh no!
Wait. I was looking to make sure all the comments, man. Okay, wait. Because he has so many different here. Blah, 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 blah. All right, this is going to be close enough. It's something to close us out. So I found something good enough. You ready?
I'm ready, brother.
All right.
Dolphins number one, baby. Dolphins number one.